Helicopters provide transportation for more than 10,000 workers every day to over 4,000 offshore platforms in the Gulf of Mexico. For decades, these flights have been made with limited air traffic surveillance, communications, and weather reporting. Until now. January 12, 2010, marked the declaration of initial operating capability for ADS-B, or Automatic Dependent Surveillance Broadcast, in the Gulf of Mexico. ADS-B is a 21st century technology that uses GPS satellites and advanced radio signals to help air traffic controllers direct helicopters safely to and from platforms in the Gulf.
It is a concept under which an aircraft determines its position with the use of an accurate navigation source, nominally GPS, and transmits that position information and state information, acceleration, etc., to the ground and notably to neighboring aircraft.
In addition to surveillance, the ADS-B project brought real-time weather sensing and reporting capabilities to the offshore environment.
There are currently 31 AWOS weather stations operating and live in the Gulf of Mexico, delivering real-time weather, and there are 5 more that are planned to be coming online shortly. I can tell you from personal experience, as I've traveled throughout the Gulf and had conversations with the operators and the field personnel, that they have indicated to me it's as if their operating environment has gone from night to day. I've heard one gentleman actually say he felt as if he was reborn, operating out in the Gulf of Mexico.
In May of 2006, government and industry came together to sign a memorandum of agreement that would guide more than 3 years of work in design, engineering, site surveys, rulemaking, transportation, logistics, and field testing. Hindsight now yields an opportunity to step back and marvel at the project's scale. Many days and nights were filled with travel, conference calls, meetings, and forums to address numerous critical issues. It was these collegial efforts between the Federal Aviation Administration, helicopter operators, platform owners, and contracted engineers that made ADS-B a reality in the Gulf. It is estimated that the helicopter operator and energy company in-kind service contributions over the life of the project are valued in excess of $100 million. HAI members stepped forward to provide complimentary flights offshore to support the survey work and hardware installation. They also flew with prototype avionics to test the system's integrity.
HAI has been a major factor in moving this project forward and being an advocate for it. We've received services from helicopter operators to transport our personnel and equipment to and from the platforms. We've received very, very substantial cooperation from the platform owners who have facilitated the work required to install our equipment on the platforms. And of course the overall guidance and integration effort that comes from the FAA.
Each of the platform owners were incredible to work with in that they allowed us out to each platform to do site surveys, engineering meetings, and design reviews actually on the platforms themselves in order to come to a consensus about where to place our equipment.
Our facilities are purpose-built, which means that we don't have a lot of extra space offshore. To actually put the required equipment offshore means that we're having to give up space that we would use otherwise for our operations. But we feel that providing that real estate is part of our in-kind contribution to the overall project. Shell and the other energy companies feel that that's a cost that's well worth paying.
The FAA, ITT, and other associated contractors faced no small challenge in creating the technology for the ground infrastructure. Hardware and software development of the ADS-B system itself, while daunting in its own right, was only a part of the puzzle. Associated projects, such as weather and shockproofing of the equipment to withstand the journey to the unforgiving offshore environment, provided their own share of difficulties. HAI believes that ADS-B and its associated systems will take safety to a higher level, improving communication between pilots, air traffic control, and company dispatch centers. It will provide reliable, real-time weather reporting and increased surveillance capabilities to pinpoint with a high degree of accuracy where aircraft are geographically located during all phases of flight. ADS-B will enable fuel savings and will help in the direct routing of aircraft. It will allow air traffic control the capacity to accommodate helicopter IFR operations.
And the greatest thing is surveillance out there, which will allow us, even on VFR days, to operate under the IFR environment, which for us in terms of safety is a great improvement to have that other set of eyes out there aiding us in separation and provide that extra measure of safety to our customers.
HAI is proud to have participated in the coordination of this project and as liaison between the contributing parties. The association firmly believes that with ADS-B and its associated systems, Gulf operations will be changed forever. What was accomplished here is an exemplary model for the future of the next generation airspace system and is truly a milestone in the evolving history of helicopter safety.
I think one of the most exciting elements of ADS-B as we look into the future for the helicopter industry is the fact that the advantages such as surveillance capability, real-time weather in the field, and enhanced communications will not only inure to the benefit of those operators in the Gulf of Mexico, but down the road will in fact be available to all helicopter operators throughout the United States, as well as the international helicopter community. The element I think that benefits us the most in the helicopter segment of the aviation world is the fact that we currently in many places do not have the infrastructure that airplanes experience on a day-to-day normal basis. We operate at lower altitudes in remote areas. So when you consider that we're in locations that have, quite frankly, nothing, and we're about to add this exciting new technology with all its benefits to those areas, we can only think in terms of enhanced safety, operational efficiency, and a better economic operating environment through that operating efficiency. So I hope you will join me in looking towards the future, and HAI has every intention of remaining a major player in that initiative on behalf of our members.